kind of hurtful, but on the other hand, it's the trial by fire.
All right, now we're good. Okay, so it's all retaliation. Okay, let me just. Okay, please, thank you. Yeah,
I'd like to be recorded.
Okay, I have a recording device.
And I appreciate that you have a record. I'm hoping that you do record. I'm asking that you record it.
Okay. So they felt that you sent some threatening emails, and believe you me, if I was a company and I did something wrong and I was going to get sued, I'd be upset with you. So I understand their standpoint. I also understand your standpoint. But what they're looking for is that you probably don't have any more contact with them. They want you to stay away from the Wells Fargo banks. They said that you've been trespassed from the Wells Fargo banks.
I did not.
Well,
I swear I did not.
Right, no. I'm here letting you know now that you're trespassed. You're not welcome in the Wells Fargo bank.
I have an account there, though.
Okay, well, I would...
Yeah, I'll take care of it, don't worry. I didn't go in a Wells Fargo bank.
Okay, you pounded on the window or something in the downtown?
No, since I've been terminated, I went downtown. I did not pound on the window. Someone waved at me, so I waved back. That's all I did. They're lying.
Okay.
They had security. They fired a lot of people, and I didn't make any money there. They didn't like I cared about their job. They fired a lot of people, and they've never put out security before. They put out all these security guards to make the people there believe that I was a threat. I don't own a gun. I always told people I think they should make ammunition illegal for people to buy because, you know, guns are your right to have and not necessarily ammo. And then I told them that because I don't know how to use a gun. You're 11 times more likely to die of gun death if you don't know how to use one. And you know, most of the Joes who get one don't know how to use one. They don't practice it. It's more of a man thing. And I'm a complete pacifist in all ways. That's been part of the problem. You understand that I've been reporting business events since April 15th. It's all documented. And feel free to look around as you feel free. I have an open house. The business events related to system fraud, they progressed up to some very high levels of activity there. And I've got all the reports, and I'm happy to provide them to any police. I've already told them I'm going to court. I've documented it. Because I'm more good at this, I can write it up so fast, you know, and just keep emailing it. But the whole thing gets down to being, what they did is there's this woman named supervisor in their HR in Des Moines. And they put me on this, I just kept reporting them. You guys, you're doing this fraud in the system. I had it all documented and everything. And I kept reporting, and they wouldn't listen. And they kept trying to fire me. And then they tried to refer me to mental health. I don't know if you guys heard those strategies. But it's the things corporations do. Then they issued me a special computer that records videos in the house. And I have a signal detector, so I watched it go on. I recorded all this all along with it. Okay? And I'm telling them, and then I told them each step of the way, I feel a little bit like, you know, the Juvies on the wagon train, quite frankly. And you know, so that was while I worked there. I told them that for several weeks, and then they kept wanting me to go to this counselor in San Francisco. Her name is Penny Burns. And if you go look her up, it turns out she's a Wells Fargo contractor, but she's like a Catholic Christian counselor. And it turns out these risers with the Catholic Church. It turns out this Katie Johnson who did what's called a prefixing call. What they tried to do, you're gonna love this one. On June, this is important. On June 16th, they did a prefixing call. They called me accusing me of crime, armed robbery in the state of Oregon. And they sent me up to Corvallis, you know, to go look at the public record. I got two people there, you know, who's going to help me up there. There's no public record against me. And furthermore, the government checked me out as of April 19th for my SAFE, SAFE 403-909. And so she called with this manufactured evidence. I went up there. I mean, we're talking that serious. I recognize their rights and their abilities to play their part of the game.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned you've been unemployed and whatnot. Are all your needs being met?
I'm sure I'm okay.
You're okay? Okay.
Yeah, if you see where I live and understand the house is on free and clear, I think I'm doing okay.
Okay. Do you feel the desire to harm any of the
I've never harmed
Wells
anybody.
Fargo employees?
Never harmed anyone. See, this is what they've done is they've tried to paint me as a threat.
Well, it's just a general question I ask you. Are you thinking about harming yourself?
No, but I don't get to ask them these questions. I don't get to send you to ask them. How fair is this? Do you understand their lack of fairness? This is what's been happening since I first started reporting April 15th. You're asking me some look at my situation. I'm up here. I got a nice house, very nice neighborhood. It's owned free and clear, part of the public record. I've been in the community forever. And so I just feel that the questions you're asking, although I will happily give you any answers you want, happily, I feel it's part of the system. You see what I'm saying? That they've been using for a long time. I'm documenting.
Right, but our job, and you have to understand that it's public safety.
Don't I
care about you.
You're to be okay.
You do, and I just want to, but here's the deal. I've been doing this for a while, and I come in contact with people who lose your job.
I'm okay.
And you end up, some people I come in contact with want to retaliate. Some people want to harm
I just went
themselves.
to the bank and got $24,000 sitting in the bank in cash. I've got 2 of their checks for $2,000 total, and I'm holding them in cash for evidence. Did you see what evil what they did was? You kind of shoot them like what they did. They turned on their video in my house. I had a video detector, so of course I just put on a shell under it. And that's the way it is, and that really embarrassed them because they just weren't expecting that one. But I have a right to do what I want now.
Right. You mentioned that they had concerns about they wanted to talk to a counselor. Have you talked to any counselors?
Why would I?
Well, I talk to counselors.
I don't. I'm not mistaken. I have a mental problem. Why would I?
Okay.
Well, here's the way to know something's right. It's when it's a fact. You guys are police officers. You know there's a right or a wrong. Well, the court decided that in your case, but you guys know usually. You're there, you see it, and everybody argues out for it. And that's terrible. And by the way, if you ever cage me, you know what I do? Is say, "Yeah, baby, thank you," and you forget about it. It never matters. I'm that kind of guy. I'm not nonviolent. I don't care. Really, I'm 53 years old. I can climb that rope all the way up there. I keep in good shape. I go to sleep in a scuba. I go to the river every day. I go bike riding every day. My folks, they're still around, in the 80s. I was a pretty good man myself. So I don't have my property in Argentina, and everything's going good. And then all of a sudden, I was a good producer there too. I did a lot of their loans. I was one of their top producers. But what are you supposed to do when you document system fraud, and then your manager in an email, which I can show you right on the company, said, "Stop your whining." And you happen to be Jewish. And he would stop your whining and conform to my branch culture. Well, he happens to be Mormon with the underlines. Well, you can do that, but when it then blows into this, when you understand when you're trying to report a business issue,
You're turning into a big issue, especially when there's a company that large.
it is business.
Is there anything else?
You just need to register the restroom. You're going to have to do. I'd like to, if you would want to take this page, this report, I have 12 pages of documents I wanted from them, so you can see that I asked them some pretty tough questions about the operation. I even had to report to the CIA in Hyderabad, and then you know what they did? This was 3 weeks ago, and then on July 7th, they de-risked their India operation. I'm telling you guys, I was reporting the mother of all problems, and they just didn't want to hear it. And I have not gone on their property. I've gone by their property on the way to the Tuesday market, and that was one time.
All right,
and they came around, they asked
we actually got another call.
Thank you so much.
Now,
Appreciate it.
nice to meet you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and you have a good night.
Thank
Do you have any
you.
issues?
Any questions at all, you guys can bomb those citizens of the neighborhood. You like all that. I mean, tell them that I really cooperated and that I really feel like I will.
Okay. Now, just to recap, don't go on their property. Stay away from them. I wouldn't call them. I wouldn't write them. I wouldn't text message or email them.
Okay, don't worry. We'll just get right on it.
All righty.
Actually, it's not them, but nobody who works at that company.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Nobody who works at Wells Fargo, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clark. you driving?
A Ford Focus. It's here, right just now. I parked it way. Isn't that weird? Come here, you guys. Okay. How do you park up there? I didn't. I saw you guys, and I worried that there was a burglar.